Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese number 969C. This is a piece of nylon brush insert weather stripping. This is a bristle style weather strip. This is an angle holder as well, and Reese manufactures bristle weather stripping in straight holders, in a 90-degree holder, and then the 45-degree. I don't know that that's 45 degree specifically, but for the sake of argument, let's say it's 45 degree. And an angle style holder is going to be used very commonly when you have an application where you are dealing with a generally an overhead door is where you'll see an angle style brush. And the reason you'll see it installed in an overhead angle style brush is because well, if you study an overhead door in your, let's say the overhead door to your home, if you've got an overhead door in your garage, you'll notice that those manufacturers, they do use a piece of weather stripping that they apply to the jamb, and it's got an angled, like a vinyl fin that makes contact with the face of the door. Same concept here. As this is applied to the jamb, my door is going to fit here, and as it rolls up and down, it will seal that material. The reason that bristle is really nice is because bristle does a great job at contouring itself over an irregular surface. Because in overhead doors in commercial applications, they'll often be roll-up doors with chains, and they will be corrugated, so a very irregular surface, and bristle just does a great job at sealing that sort of material. You'll very often see this installed on the jambs. You'll even see it at the leading bar as well, installed as the door comes down. That will seal down against your sill. And bristle is nice because it does not present a substantial obstacle to the closing hardware on the door. In an overhead door, especially, certainly if they are controlled with a motor, that door, the controller needs to know when the door is in the closed position. Well, you can't put anything on the bottom of the door to seal it. Your door is probably not going to completely close without adjustment. Well, this bristle can be applied, generally make nice contact, and not really overwhelm the installation so as to require adjustment. Okay. Now, bristle is great in these larger sizes when you're doing overhead doors like that. In smaller sizes, they're really great as door sweeps because of that ability to contour. If my fingers represented the irregular surface, they do a great job at contouring themselves over and around those irregular surfaces. Okay. There is a link below this video, there's an image below this video showing the important dimensional properties, and that will allow us to see that the overall length of the bristle is 2 inch. And the overall height of the material itself is 3 inch. We just go with an overall height. Okay. A projection of the material, about 2 inch. Overall height when it's installed is going to be closer to about 2 3/4. The holder itself is available in C finish for clear anodized aluminum. You can also do this in a D finish for dark bronze anodized. And just a quick note about Reese's dark bronze anodized. It is the most faithful finish when you are matching a 613 finish. 613 is oil rub bronze, but specifically 613 is oil rub bronze on a bronze base material, which will give you the feel, the essence, the look of oil rub bronze. But true oil rub bronze, a living finish on bronze base material, will give you the hint of those lighter tones as well through the material. And Reese does a great job at a balance of being faithful to 613. It's lighter, it's more rich in color, it's more decadent even when it comes to a finish. Looks more living, like oil rubbed 613 oil rub bronze does. Other manufacturers make anodized aluminum very dark. Some of them are so close to black that you might even think it's black, because standing alone it certainly looks black. You only can tell that it's not quite black when you hold it up to something that's truly black. So if you're looking to match a lighter, or if you want a richer dark brown color and you're not matching black, Reese would be a great job. You can also do the 969 extrusion, the holder itself. The aluminum is the holder in a G finish, which would be a gold anodized finish, and so that will give you 3 options. There's a link, before we move on, I have a sketch here. This is what a typical installation looks like in an overhead door. It mounts to the jamb. bristle makes contact with the face as that door opens up in an overhead sort of sense. There's also now a link below this video to the product brochure that will allow you to review all things bristle from, or brush, nylon brush from Reese. A variety of brush lengths, straight holders, 45-degree holders, 90-degree holders. The 45-degree holders are very common in the smaller sizes because they do a really great job when you have it applied to the jamb and you have a swinging door. And that swinging door just makes contact with the face of the bristle, allowing it to compress and make a lot of surface area contact with your door without presenting too much opposing force to your door closer trying to get the door closed. So angle brush is really nice for that aspect because it does a great job. You can get up in the corners of the header and the jamb, miter that material, give it a nice tight fit. It's clean. It is very capable of sealing quite well irregular floor surfaces. I like the brush because it will even contour itself well against a door that may not be very true, plumb, level, or square. You might have a warped door and you know it, and typical weather stripping material is not going to allow you to seal. Put a piece of brush on there. You'll have it a little bit more compressed at one end, a little bit less at the top of the door if it kind of bows out and away from the jamb. So brush might be very successful for that application as well. Looking at the balance of the product brochure, you will see a variety of bristle sizes and shapes. The longer stuff is used obviously in the 45-degree holder application. In straight applications, believe it or not, we've sold it to people with large sliding doors. Think aircraft hangar style size doors, doors that are 30 feet wide by 18 foot tall. Even a little, certainly less common, a little harder to believe. Sliding bristle, we've sold the material to the elephant enclosure in a quite famous West Coast zoo, in fact. Does a real good job at sealing and sliding sorts of applications. Okay. Really great job in that regard is how it works. The longer brush is what you're going to see in those really large aircraft style. Page 2, there is also the 90-degree holder material. That 90-degree holder material is very commonly installed in an inverted bottom channel of a door. And while the Reese material is a bit generally long for that sort of application, you will see it installed in applications where you do have a concealed recessed area where you need to have a mounting orientation of the material at 90 degree from the projection of the bristle or the brush itself. We've sold it to people installing the material in quite creative ways where they need to have an opposing installation versus the mounting point. Use it where you can. You know, you've got dimensional properties there, so apply it to however your problem ultimately gets solved. This material, the 969, is listed in lots of different lengths as well. You're going to be able to find it in everything from 2 foot to much longer lengths. Lengths longer than 7 foot are generally expensive to ship because of the length and the rules of the shipping carriers. But nonetheless, when you have a 14-foot wide door, you have a choice of either splicing the material together or simply ordering the correct length. And longer lengths in larger quantities make the shipping charge look not so severe, I suppose, on a per unit basis. If you have need for a custom length, by all means, order the next longest piece or pieces and simply indicate in the comment field the length that you'd like to have the material cut back to. And the reasoning is it will save you the trouble of cutting it. What happens is there is a steel holder that's installed here, and it is installed in such a way where it's been crimped and inserted into the aluminum holder. So you've got aluminum here. That's a piece of steel retainer that crimps the bristle down and over. Okay, ordering the size that you require will save you from having to cut the aluminum, extract the steel retainer from the holder itself, which you would drive out with a center punch, something like that. Cutting that with end cutters or an aviation snip and then reassembling everything. You will probably want to crimp the material over ever so slightly, or just punch that so that it doesn't slide out over time. So be mindful to make that sort of appropriate adjustment. If this was the genuine article, it would have a hole drilled about 4 inches from the end. Screws would be included. They're typically a 6 by 5/8 or so size. And it will, of course, when you're ordering the next longest piece or pieces, you'll indicate that in the comment field, and will save you the trouble of having to drill that hole as well. It will give you the first hole at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. So make that very typical sort of, it will be the net custom size that you need without you having to do, hopefully, any sort of work to the installation. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Reese products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, where you'll find not only all of the Reese commercial hardware that's in there, in a variety of different inserts. And Reese does a great job, as I said earlier, when it comes to their dark bronze anodized finish. When you're matching oil rubbed, it's lighter. But they do a great job with polyurethane insert as well. They showcase it. Polyurethane is a substantially robust insert material, very resistant to wear and tear via friction, highly antimicrobial, an incredibly durable product when you need to have something incredibly resistant to general wear and tear. It's probably the most expensive insert, but certainly the most, certainly the longest lasting as well. Neoprene, silicone, bronze material is in there. Obviously bristle, vinyl, polyurethane, as I said before. Any questions on the Reese number 969C or any other Reese product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.